It was beautiful. I think you caught all the emotions and everything. Yes, I had a lot.
I guess what I'm looking for is what's missing that you want to know about either the situation or
You never got into the part where they did the testing, where the lady interviewed her and about the testing.
What they used to DNA.
Where they used the DNA testing and for the first time in Maryland.
right.
That should be in.
Okay. Yeah, because
I have that video.
it is the original. I mean, because this is the first time.
Yeah.
For folks who don't know, this is the first time that forensic testing was used in
Maryland.
In Maryland,
Yes.
and it was by. Did you suggest it to the?
To the detective, she suggested it.
I did.
Yeah, and they built it. Where did they ended up going?
Well, actually, because we had the DNA and we had the blood and sweat and all that, but he had no criminal record. So I told Kingston to send that shit to ancestry.com and find his bloodline.
Wow.
So they did that, and then we got our results, but then other prosecutors were trying to use that too, and then they're trying to bring back old cases and do it that way, which would have overturned a lot of cases. So they actually took it to court to fight it, so that way it can no longer be used in criminal cases to help solve cases. Because it actually
Open up
works.
Does it
floodgates.
actually work?
Stuff.
And then people, like I said, they were trying to bring back cases, with, with the DAs and everything, that's gonna mess up their numbers, cause now we got, cause they wasn't, if people are not in the system, you can't find them in CODIS and all that, if they didn't commit any crime. But if you have, like, this dude bled and sweated on my brother, like, we have his DNA, but he was not in the system, so we had nothing in reality. So once we did that, then at least we got a leeway on where to go. Like,
Where to look.
found his family, then we started hitting, Kingston was in Alabama. I had Kingston in Alabama. Their name came up in Alabama to catch that flight. So, you know what I mean? Like, it helped. So that helped, but,
Who did it, how she got the justice, what she used, all those things. Because unless you know the family and what happened, you don't know how the justice was served.
Right.
And I think that story needs to be brought out.
And I hear you, and part of what I'm trying to do is figure out, because I don't want to spotlight him. This is not about him. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want his picture, I don't want his name, but we do need to know, I do feel like we need to know what happened.
Right.
And so, and I'm trying to decide whether we're going to do that with a voiceover with the family at the end, sort of telling the story.
I say like maybe the explaining the justice comes before, because I do think that ending was like cathartic. I think seeing you all with the tree, that was beautiful, and I think seeing the smoke go up, like I was feeling that too, and having him speak and tying it back to the beginning. So maybe in the middle there, like introducing us to what justice can mean and the different ways that could show up in our lives.
First, I want to say condolences to all the family members, very much so. And I don't mean to make it light at all, but I really think that this feels like a proof of concept for a television show. It feels like Shondaland kind of a thing, because you are a badass. And it's like, I could see it. Like, I could really see it as a series, like a limited series.